Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a monumental clash from 1659 that literally reshaped the Indian subcontinent. We're talking about the epic showdown between Chatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and the Bijapur Sultanate's veteran general Afzal Khan. It's a masterclass in guerrilla warfare, psychological tactics, and strategic brilliance. So, let's get right into it.
Let's kick things off with a pretty bold and chilling boast. According to the historical text, the Sabasad Bakar, when the Bijapur court was picking a commander to take down Shivaji, Afzal Khan confidently bragged, "What is Shivaji? I will bring him alive, a prisoner, without alighting from my horse." He was so confident in his abilities that he was handed 12,000 cavalrymen, massive infantry, and heavy resources just to back up that claim.
Section 1. The growing Bijapur threat and psychological warfare.
To really grasp the start of this conflict, we have to look at the Bijapur Sultanate. They were seriously alarmed by Shivaji's rapid territorial expansion. After making peace with the Mughals, Bijapur laser-focused on crushing this rising Maratha power. Now, Afzal Khan knew fighting in the dense mountains was a total nightmare, so he tried to draw Shivaji out into the open plains where his massive cavalry would have the upper hand. How did he do it? Through brutal psychological warfare. The Bijapuri army intentionally desecrated the Tulja Bhavani temple, a deeply sacred site for Shivaji's family, and then targeted the Vithoba temple at Pandharpur. He was entirely hoping to provoke Shivaji into making a reckless, emotional move.
Section 2. The Diplomacy of Pratapagad and the Stalemate.
But instead of falling for that trap, Shivaji made a brilliant strategic move. He retreated to the incredibly steep, mountainous stronghold of Pratapgad, which led to a tense, 2-month-long standoff. Now consider the mismatch here. Shivaji had his agile Maval infantry, who were absolute masters of Ganimi Kava, or guerrilla tactics, but they couldn't possibly survive a pitched battle on the plains. On the flip side, Khan had this massive, powerful, heavy cavalry, but thanks to the steep slopes of the Western Ghats and a total lack of siege equipment, he literally couldn't touch the fort. It was a complete geographical stalemate. Neither side could make a move without risking total destruction.
So, after 2 agonizing months of this deadlock, Afzal Khan finally blinked. He sent an envoy suggesting a private, face-to-face negotiation just outside the fort. On the surface, it looked like a peaceful way out, but beneath this diplomatic offer, both leaders were highly suspicious that they were walking right into a deadly trap.
Section 3. The Historic and Fatal Meeting.
November 10, 1659, marks the absolute climax of this story. This wasn't just your standard political summit. It was a high-stakes powder keg where a single mistake meant death. To guarantee safety, they agreed on some incredibly strict rules. The meeting would happen in a specially constructed tent at the foothills of Pratapgad. Both leaders could carry only a single sword, and they were allowed strictly 1 follower each inside the tent. The tension must have been absolutely palpable.
Knowing Khan's ruthless track record, Shivaji completely expected treachery, so he made some ingenious secret preparations. Underneath his traditional flowing clothes, he wore protective chainmail armor. And he didn't just bring the agreed-upon sword. He actually concealed 2 extra weapons meant specifically for devastating close-quarter combat: a hidden dagger in his right hand and something called a bog nak strapped to his left hand.
Historical accounts tell us that when the 2 leaders finally met, they moved in for a traditional embrace. But right in the middle of that hug, Afzal Khan made his move. He suddenly whipped out a dagger and viciously struck at Shivaji. But remember that secret preparation? The blade hit the hidden chainmail armor and completely failed to pierce it. Shivaji's foresight literally saved his life.
In immediate retaliation, Shivaji unleashed his concealed weapon, the Bagnak. This translates directly to tiger claw. It's this small, brutal metal weapon worn over the fingers, specifically designed for ripping in close combat. In the chaotic physical struggle right there inside the tent, Shivaji used the tiger claw and his hidden dagger to fatally wound the towering general, decisively ending this one-on-one duel.
Section 4. The Decisive Battle of Pratapgad.
But Khan's death was actually just the opening move of a much larger, meticulously planned military operation. The second Shivaji stepped out of the tent, he signaled his hidden troops by having a booming cannon fired from the fort above. As that sound echoed through the valley, it sprang a massive trap. Down below, the Bijapuri army was peacefully waiting for their commander to finish negotiations, completely unaware he was already dead. The moment they heard that cannon, the Maratha infantry who had been secretly hiding in the dense jungle launched a devastating ambush.
The results were staggering. Around 3,000 Bijapur soldiers were killed in the sudden ambush. This number alone proves just how brutally effective Ganimi Kava, guerrilla warfare, could be against a much larger conventional military force. The Marathas poured out of the forest and caught the enemy completely off guard, turning the situation into one of the most stunning military upsets of the era.
Beyond the massive casualties, the Marathas also captured incredibly high-value targets. They took one of the top-ranking opposing Sardars, 2 opposing Maratha chiefs, and even 2 of Afzal Khan's own sons as prisoners. This completely crippled the Bijapur Sultanate's ability to mount any immediate counterattack. Plus, the victory secured a massive haul of weapons, horses, and supplies, which poured fuel on the fire of the growing Maratha army.
Now, what's really fascinating is the aftermath. After military review at the base of Pratapgarh, the captured enemy officers and soldiers weren't executed or tortured. Showcasing profound statesmanship, Shivaji ensured they were treated with incredible honor. They were actually set free and sent back home with money, food, and gifts. It's a striking detail that really highlights the complex rules of engagement and leadership during this time.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. How did this single display of guerrilla strategy and unmatched bravery reshape the map of 17th century India? The Battle of Pratapgarh wasn't just a military win. It firmly established Shivaji as a sovereign power and proved that local terrain knowledge and brilliant tactics could break the back of massive empires. Thank you for joining this historical deep dive, and keep questioning how the brilliant strategies of the past continue to echo through our world today.